Gemini, can, Virgo.
Alright guys, so I hate to be a troll, but you know how it goes, the location says it all. But what I do kind of want to remind you of is that it isn't exactly always about the sun sign here. But if you do want to look at a sun sign to answer this question of who really lies the most in the zodiac, it would have to be the late degrees of Gemini and the early degrees of Cancer, but mostly on the Gemini side, and here's why. So, you know how Geminis are. They can just say a lot, they can intake a lot, they know a lot, they know how to use it, they know how to talk about things even when they don't know what they're talking about. And then Cancers are cardinal water people, so they know how to create the vibe and really make you feel what they're saying. So if this is a sun sign and they do have the placements that actually will make a person lie and sort of cheat and sort of just dodge questions and all that stuff, this would be the perfect sign to carry out those duties and obligations, because you have to remember, sun signs are how you intake information as well as how you express things, but it doesn't have anything to do with how you react, how you think about things, what you're reacting to necessarily, and also how you appreciate things and how you feel about it. But anyways, let's slide on over and see what the other signs have for us. If we do want to actually get into it, the two signs we're going to have to talk about will be Venus and Taurus, as well as a Scorpio ascendant. Now, before we get a little too deep into it and we actually move deeper into the woods so we can really get into it, let's talk about just a way you can get a little overlook on what we're going to be talking about. So, Venuses and Tauruses, they're at home in Venus, they love their stable ground, and they will do anything to get to that stability they deeply appreciate. And they are included in the series of master builders amongst the actual Taurus signs. But as for Scorpio ascendant people, these people feel like the space they're in, the situations they're personally in, are always deeply in the unknown. And they don't want to add any more unknown on what they already have to deal with if you know anything about Scorpios. So let's get deeper into it. Meet you in the woods. So we're almost there. We just gotta make it through Disappointment Ravine. And yeah, we'll pretty much be at the spot where we'll talk about what we gotta talk about. So let me just show you this little Disappointment Ravine. Oh, let me get up to it real quick. Whew. So here we are, Disappointment Ravine. I call it Disappointment Ravine because in terms of climbing, this rock is a piece of shit. So let's get a little deeper and actually go to the spot. Alright, so we've made it into the spot. Yes, this kind of is on some Bridge to Terabithia level shit. Check it out real quick. About to go through the gates over here. Once we get through those gates, tell me about Venus and Taurus. Alright guys, so we finally made it to our point of stability, so let's get into it, right? So first things first, Venus and Taurus. Now, Venus and Taurus is in one of the master builder signs. If you're a, well, Earth and Taurus maybe not so much, but that's a different story. But if you're a Sun in Taurus, Moon in Taurus, or even Venus in Taurus, these are a part of the actual master builder signs because they have a strong Taurus placement. Why is that, you may ask? Well, Taurus is co-ruled by Venus, it's exalted in the Moon, and then if you're a Sun sign Taurus, that's just how you're looking at things, so you'll be able to figure out a practical means of how to get where you want to go. Now, why Venus in Taurus is one of the key signs to make a liar is because it's Venus. This is the planet of love, appreciation, values, as well as how you relate to others, right? And now Taurus being placed here, Taurus is the sign of stability, grounding, not making sense out of things, but finding the practical steps and finding the necessary means and, you know, planting the seeds of how to go about things, right? And it's the bull, so it's very stern, it's very direct, it's very fixated on what it thinks is necessary and practical to do. So if this is placed in appreciation, people can easily be taken over by how they appreciate things and how they're ruled, right? And how they just generally want to relate to people and sort of get their feels on, you know, and actually enjoy some harmonious and appreciative circumstances. So with this being in Taurus, Tauruses can easily be jaded by what they want to get and how they want to appreciate something and just hone in and focus on, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to go about doing this. This is what I enjoy. And they can easily just be swept up by that feeling and actually just get distracted by what they're doing in the first place. And they'll just say what they have to do, they'll do whatever they have to do, and they'll just go about how they appreciate these things as in any way they see fit. And even if that means lying to you, they'll do it, but they won't even look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? This is where it gets kind of weird, because why they're some of the most perfect liars and one of the most perfect cheaters, and they'll just do what they want to do regardless of how you feel about it, is because they don't even look at it as lying. And when you believe that you're not lying to someone, and you believe you're just going where you want to go, you're just heading in the direction that you want to actually go to, that's an interesting place. Because if you don't believe it, then you can act like you don't believe it, and you can create a situation or circumstance just like you believe that you're doing everything perfect. You're just getting to where you want to go. And that'll rub off on people because you're emitting those vibrations. You'll be so certain in what you're doing. And it may take years or even lifetimes for someone to even catch on to what you're doing, because you can't even see it. You don't even know what you're doing. So Venus and Tauruses can be very dangerous, quite the skilled liars in that way, because they have their power of belief. And when you have your power of belief, you can be very imaginative, and you can have all the faith in the world. You may not even need faith to get where you want to go. So let me get into a specific example of how Venus and Taurus may do their thing. So if you're a little kid, right, you want some cookies from the cookie jars, you know, maybe your mom or your parents give you some type of little reward for doing something good, so they just have a bag full of trinkets, right? Say you want to get all the trinkets. Say you want to get all the little gifts. Say you want to get a little, here, let me find something. Maybe a little elephant, you know, something like this. This isn't exactly a Taurus symbol or anything Taurus related, but it is something stable that will carry a similar vibration. So I'll just put it right here. Ooh, I might distract myself. Elephant. So with something like this, and you're just being a little kid and you want to find it, and you just being a natural snooper the way you are because you're thinking to yourself, I want some gifts, I feel like I deserve something. In your little kid brain, your little kid voice, you know how that goes. And you're just sitting there like, I want this. You may actually go into your parents' room and sort of find what that is. Even if you're taking it when you're not supposed to, that won't even cross your mind. But you'll just be walking in, here's the drawer. Oh, this is where they were the last time they grabbed it, so it might be here. Let me just swoop in and take that shit real quick. And this is sort of how Venus and Tauruses think. Because it's not about them lying or cheating the gift system that their parent created for them. It's not about them not telling their parents they created it for them. It's not about them just waltzing in and getting it. It's about them wanting that feeling of appreciation and getting it by any means necessary. And they're just looking at it as the practical steps and planting the seeds of how to get to that point. Do you feel what I'm saying here? Like, these people just, they don't look at it the way that you may look at it if you truly saw the situation that they were in. Now, if you saw it from like a whole third person perspective and you were like, oh, this is what this person's doing, it's quite obvious what they're doing. But to them, it's just they were going from point A to point B to get to point C, where they wanted to go, where they can just be certain in what they have. And to beat this dead horse to a pulp, you must know that they just don't look at it the same way. And their power of belief and just having all their energy behind the way they look at it completely dissolves any possibility of you sort of catching on to how they went about this. So watch out, because these people can be very sneaky and be so certain in what they appreciate and so certain in how they're possibly relating to you that they can just build you a whole new ground to stand on that supports their entire outlook on the situation that just happened. But without further ado, let's move on to Scorpio. So watch out for what I'm going to find for that location. Alright, Scorpio ascendant time. I know you guys may be asking, did I have to find a cave? Did I have to find a deep dark spot to really prove that this was a Scorpio situation? Hell yeah, I fucking did. But here we are. Check out this cave. Cave. You may be saying, yeah, this is a weak ass cave, it's a little outlook, but it is what it is. Here we are. Anyways, Scorpio ascendants, right? These people are always in the space of a deep dark transformation that is possibly mounting their current experience right now. They never know when it's going to show up. They never know how it may come. They never know how it may feel. And this is something that Scorpios don't really like, because if you're in the space of a Scorpio, your spirit is more Scorpio. You just got that direct alignment with the Boots constellation, and you already know Draco's creeping in. It's just a tough one, man, because being in the space of the unknown and having a vast knowledge and a vast list of experiences that where the unknown just sort of popped up out of nowhere and caused some sort of transformation, you kind of want to keep that shit on wraps and sort of just keep it at bay and be like, nah, man. And with Scorpios always having that sense of when that next transformation is about to come, you know, it's when they catch that feeling of, oh man, I've been having a good time, you know things aren't going to go so well now. And you may not even think it all the way. You may just be like feeling it. That thought may just kind of be at bay, creeping in at you, and you just sort of may just be like keeping it like, nah, man, I've been doing good. I don't want to go back down there. I've had enough. You know, Scorpio ascendants, your spirit doesn't play that. When it's time to transform, it's time to transform, and you know that deep down. So you will do anything, and I mean anything, to keep that at bay and to push it along as much as you possibly can. And this is what may lead them to actually be a liar, a cheater, a freaking thief, anything that they can do to get away from that feeling. Because when you're deep down under some type of experience like that, and you're just stuck up under a rock in a hard place per se, you don't want to ever lean back into the dark side. Which is why these people just do whatever they have to do to get out of that. So let me tell you a little story, right? If you're a Scorpio ascendant and you really don't like your flu shot, any type of injection, you just fear anytime you have to go get some blood work or something like that, you will do a lot of things to get out of it if it really tingles that Scorpio alignment for yourself. For instance, if you have an appointment and you're not of adult age where you can sort of avoid those things and do stuff like that. So if you don't want to experience any of that stuff, what you'll do is you'll freaking find out when the appointment is, you'll find out what type of band-aids they have, and you may even go as far to find out the exact diameter of the needle that they would be used to giving you your flu shot or whatever. Now, not always, but sometimes you people will go to the lengths of faking an appointment, calling them, even bribing them, and selling like your mom you came if you're old enough to go on your own, some shit like that. And you may even go as far to find a sewing needle just to prick yourself a little bit, because the fear you know and the having control of it is better than the fear you don't. And this situation can go deep, because it can go in many different capacities. Because nowadays, especially with young kids, sort of like 18 to 22, social anxiety is a norm. That fear is a norm. Just being afraid to even call and order a pizza on the phone, which is something we've all, as freaking like millennial type kids, have experienced, and having to be like, just tell them what you want. And you're like, I don't know what I want, but I do know what I want. I just don't know what to say in between. You know, these are some things that Scorpio ascendants especially will play off as much as they possibly can, because they fear the unknown, and they will go through great lengths to experience a pain that may be far greater than what they're actually avoiding, because they don't know what it may feel like. Now, where your understanding of Scorpio, outside of the ascendant specifically, can sort of take a turn, is when you understand that these people are a lot similar to Leos, and they do some very similar things. Because Leos are fixed fire, being fixated on your own way of feeling and kind of seeing things, you know? So it's a fixed perspective. Now, Scorpio is fixated on how they feel. But the difference is, they may tell you a same exact story, but a Scorpio will hide what they don't want you to know, while a Leo will accentuate what they want you to see. Do you get the difference here? So, if you're always in that space of hiding, running, keeping your distance from this, keeping your way from that thought, not telling this person this, you will be liable to lie and cheat your ass off, especially when it comes to test time or being in school. You know you didn't study, you feel like you were owed an A. If you feel like you're owed an A, you're gonna do anything you have to do. You'll cause some whole gossip in the school, and you'll find some means to blackmail a person that you're actually trying to cheat off of, just to get an A on the test, because you know you didn't study the last night, because you were probably getting it in at the neighbor's house or something weird like that. You know how you Scorpio ascendants get down? You have a powerful aura, a powerful freaking persona when people don't know you. And you know that about yourself, and you'll hide things, and you'll tell people all types of different things about who you are, what you actually do, because you know deep down that not a lot of many people know who you truly are. And you may have, going down the rabbit hole of why and how that is anybody's business except mine. That's on you. I don't want to go that far. I got enough shit to deal with on my own. But anyways, that's why Scorpio ascendants may lie to you quite frequently, whether you know it or not. Damn, the spot's getting swampy as hell. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. But that's besides the point. What I wanted to say is, before we go and all that shit, is the two commonalities between these signs and why they lie the most and how they can sort of sell it and just dodge questions regardless, is they have belief. They know how to weave a story together, and they know how to put the true feelings that'll make you agree with what they're saying because you feel that it's true. Both of these signs, especially together, understand truth and what is true, and they know how to separate the two, and they know how you may view it in order to weave a story together perfectly for the situation that they're in. So watch out, because they'll believe it's true more than anyone. And that's the T right there, and that's what divides a liar from a disaster artist.